Alrighty, good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Smudcast number 805. The problem with those online game critics. Oh no, the online game critics as opposed to the offline game critics. I don't know the difference, but okay. I guess that would be the blogs. I don't know. I'm guessing he's talking about YouTubers because that's what the thumbnail implies. Anyway, this is from TTBN Gaming. This came out last week. And it's got almost 1,000 views, and it's heavily downvoted, so I don't know what's going on. I thought he was going to be looking at critics that aren't very good at critiquing games because they're biased, but maybe it's the opposite. I don't know. I've never covered this guy before. We don't know who he is, and he's only had less than 2,000 subs, so he's a pretty small channel. Maybe he's just venting like a lot of these small YouTubers are. We don't know. We'll find out. Anyway, this is 17 and a half minutes long. Don't know how long it'll take for us to go through. It could be horrible. We could stop halfway through. Bad Boy might be popping in. Gigaman's there, but he's not really there. And Whisp is trying to keep awake. So I don't know.
Hello.
I don't know how long this will take. We will see, though. Anyway, let's get started. 17 and a half minutes. Here we go.
Hi, it's me. You're a boy.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hi, it's me. You're a boyfriend / girlfriend / they friend's favorite content creator.
What was that about?
Oh no.
Boyfriend / girlfriend / favorite content creator?
You forgot one.
Let's rewind that and try again.
Hi, it's me. You're a boyfriend / girlfriend / they friend's favorite content creator.
They friends?
They friend.
They friend.
Exactly.
Okay. I guess we know what part of the aisle he's sitting in right now.
Yeah, none.
I thought this was going to be a good video. Come on.
Who said that?
Well, I thought he was going to poke fun at all the weirdos on YouTube saying stupid things about their favorite woke game or their...
No, he is a weirdo.
Oh, is that a green screen?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a green screen. Okay, I just didn't...
Well, he does not have a wonderful, sparse, baby tasteful room with bisexual lighting.
Okay. I mean, he could. He's black and all, right? So it's possible.
Right, when blacks do that, it's not bisexual lighting.
Yeah,
It's
just their sense of style. We have to appreciate that. Okay. Anyway, Mr.
I am a bit jealous that all colors work with them.
Yeah. All right.
You wear the same stuff as a white guy, it looks silly.
Anyway, it's a nice CGI or whatever background he's got going. So good for you, sir.
I want to talk about with you guys today is something that's been bothering me for a very long time.
Really?
And it is the fact that we are seeing an influx of people who aren't critiquing video games, but are complaining about it.
That's critique.
That's been happening since the dawn of YouTube. I don't know what the problem is.
What's the difference between a complaint and a critique?
He's going to have to explain that because I could critique something and be harsh, and I can critique something and be not very visceral. So I don't know.
A complaint is part of a critique, and many complaints certainly make a critique.
Yep, pretty much. Even if it's just, I don't like the color scheme, or I don't like the box art, or whatever.
Here's what I mean. Stop. From a AAA developer, a Western AAA developer. And before there's even any hands-on or even like a real trailer for gameplay or anything like that, there is already 1,000 videos out on the same topic talking about how the game's a failure, it's too woke, it's XYZ, right? We have gotten to the...
What's wrong with critiquing the promotional material of a game that we have all seen throughout the decades and go, oh, I have a good idea how this is going to look or how this is going to play. And
stuff's supposed to tell us what's inside. And if it shows us something that tells us, oh, it's that shit, then the trailer works. It shows us what's inside.
Yeah, and this is not hard. It's only a problem when the creators are lying and they create a fake trailer, or they put stuff that's not in the game in the trailer. So that BioWare is already known for doing that in the past 2 games they did. So yeah, this is a problem with video game companies. They don't have anything to show. They throw together a trailer. It's crap. Like with Dragon Age, the Veilguard trailer of whatever gameplay that was. At least it had gameplay, official gameplay, and it looked horrible. It was lame. It was like one skill. You had no control over your colleagues, and you had one attack. Well, you had like 3 attacks, but that was all you were doing. You're dodging and attacking. So,
You know what would be really, really dumb? If you put woke stuff in your trailer and then there would be none in the game.
that would be like BioWare has to officially have marketing that the executives want them to have just to showcase that they have it. And then they come out with a classic Dragon Age Origins dark fantasy style game. And you're like, what? Where's all the purple hairs and the bisexual people? It's like, no, we went back to our roots. We just wanted to lie about that. It's like, okay. That'd be hilarious. I would laugh. I would probably buy the game on the people in the marketing department doing their job as they were required, and the game devs going, screw that, we're doing our own thing. That'd be great. Anyway.
Criticism simply shouldn't be. I want to talk about this because it's been driving me insane, because we can no longer just
stop watching YouTube, sir. It's that simple. If it's driving you insane, just watch something else.
they're good or bad on their own merit. Stupid fucking culture war. Suicide Squad.
Oh, no.
Where's
the pause
did
button?
not.
What?
Thank you. It's not that everything sucked into the culture war. That's not the fault of the critics. That's the fault of the culture war. And who wages the culture war? That's sorry to say it, it's the socialists. If they weren't here, we wouldn't have a culture war, and then there wouldn't be critics who complain about all the culture war stuff in their products. And the games could actually be good.
Yeah, it could be a religious insertion. It could be a food insertion. It could be music insertion that doesn't belong in a story or in a game. It doesn't matter what it is. The fact that it is the politics of the day, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't fit the story. It should not be there. And it's kind of like whenever you read or watch a manga or an anime and they have this crazy, colorful hair that is impossible in real life. So it's like, okay, did the fantasy world of medieval period, whatever, create hair dye and gel and have like all this amazing ability to look like your models of the 20th century? How did that happen? So there's things that are anachronistic in certain places that need to either be removed or shouldn't belong there in the first place because there's no way they would have existed at that point in time.
Was not well received. Now, normal people can look at that game and find a myriad of reasons why, on like a technical level, on its own merits, why it didn't work. For example, a lot of people were expecting this to be a single-player game. So there's an expectation because the studio, Rocksteady, previously did a whole Arkham trilogy, which were single-player action adventure.
Yeah, but then the people from the Arkham series did not make the Kill the Justice League game, as far as I recall. It was a complete...
Nope.
I would also assume that people would also complain about that, but that problem pales in comparison to its main problem.
Yeah, this is the same issue we're going to see with BioWare when they release their Veilguard. All the original guys are gone. This is a brand new group of people doing their own thing. Of course it's going to be different. So what do you expect?
To the point where even the co-founders left Rocksteady.
Yeah, I know.
And made their own studio, 100 Star.
Same with BioWare. These things are, like, it's obvious what's going to happen with these games. And you can't critique the Veilguard because it hasn't come out yet. We've seen the trailer. We've seen the 10-year dev cycle. We've seen the creator, who is a they, them, whatever. We've seen all this crap. Nothing. Even the articles that have been coming out every week have been bad. So I don't know what more this guy is expecting from average, not even critics, just average people in the comments going, yeah, I don't want this.
I think what's going on is that he, as well as generalizations, the left in its entirety completely overestimate the power of critics because they believe in this whole propaganda, agitation, brainwashing thing that if you tell something, then the blind masses, the NPC masses will just eat it up and believe it. Because that's how they do their propaganda. They think if they put out enough of that, everybody will join them. When what really happens is that the critics, especially every critic that is on point, is less changing the minds of people, but more so himself an expression of the masses, because those games don't sell. If you had a critic or not, those games would not sell. Because simply by word of mouth, that would be the case. And what game critics are is basically a nexus point for word of mouth.
Even if I would say the game Kill the Justice League did sell, and I think it sold okay. I don't know if it made its money back. You're expecting a certain level of quality from the company that came with the Arkham series. So you're like, oh, they can do Arkham, they can do other things on that level, and it wasn't close. So
I have the same experience with Bayonetta 3.
Yeah, exactly. So you're expecting this pedigree, this standard, and you don't even have to be a critic. You're like, hey, this is like a 5-year-old game from the original Arkham or whatever. What happened? It's not even close to what the thing I remember playing. It doesn't have to be the same genre. It doesn't have to be the same style of game, but you expect a level of quality where you're respecting the audience's expectations, and you're not getting that. So I don't know exactly what happened with the Kill the Justice League or Suicide Squad, but I can guess very easily what happened.
Adventure games. So when you heard that it was going to be a always online games as a service looter shooter type, a lot of the hype died down, especially because it looked like a very generic looter shooter. Like it did nothing special. The backlash was immense towards the trailer. As far as the actual gameplay goes, it has very repetitive mission structures. In fact, the end game is just doing the same shit over and over and over and over.
Okay, so he's complaining that the critics who criticized the game before it came out didn't like the signaling by the media, and he's saying, well, the actual gameplay is boring. The end result is the game sucks. It doesn't matter what exact reason is, but both are valid arguments. So what's the problem?
And many aspects that suck. Gameplay in Bayonetta 3 sucked. The story sucked. The graphics sucked. I don't know what didn't suck.
I'm not seeing the problem because he's
probably similar here.
He's saying the critics aren't critiquing the gameplay. It's like, do they have to? Are they supposed to?
Yeah.
The game hasn't come out yet?
Yeah, and since I already don't like the gameplay with Bayonetta 3, a better story might have made me bear with it more. But since the story is also unbearable, I don't even want to bother.
Yeah, and I can guess the material in Bayonetta did not hit the same standard as Bayonetta 2.
Not even close.
Yeah, you see, this is what I mean.
It's so full of game-breaking bugs and crash bugs.
That's a whole...
On a Nintendo basically in-house, because it's only on Nintendo console, product that crashes at random. We are moving into the pre-Nintendo seal of quality era where the Atari bullshit happened, which is why the Nintendo seal of quality was invented, and now Nintendo's own games keep crashing. Like Hyrule Warriors, that was also crashing all the fucking time. But that didn't deserve the seal of quality. One thing I wanted to add about game critics, which goes for all types of critics, is if they are not on point, they will lose audience. This doesn't go for the Rotten Tomatoes stuff because that industry works different. That's behind that. But the people who actually make their money by as critics judged by the public directly, like people who do it on YouTube. If they are not on point, they lose their fucking jobs because they lose their not public, their audience.
Yeah. I would say the expectations of what the game is supposed to be is what the issue mainly is for a game like the Suicide Squad, because any comic book fan of DC has read all kinds of DC comics, the Elseworlds. What if this were to happen? Great. Okay. So the material of killing heroes is not unheard of. It's not some crazy idea. It's how it's done in the game that will either turn someone on or off to the rest of the game. Because if you kill off a hero like Superman, you better know how to do it, because we've seen that story play out, and it's highly dramatic. It's highly technical. How did he die? What caused him to be reborn? What's the Kryptonian heritage? How does that work? There's all these technical elements. If you don't get those exactly right, you're going to piss off the majority of fans because it's freaking Superman. The same with Batman, the same with Wonder Woman. You got to get these things perfect. So when you see a company that made the Arkham games, you're like, okay, they clearly know the lore of at least Batman. They should be able to figure it out, and they screwed it up. And I don't even know how they screwed it up. Just the backlash was obvious. So
yeah, the Superman's death in the Suicide Squad game was actually kind of like stupid because it was poorly executed, because like, you know, you have the intro into the fight, you know, and then you have the fight itself, and then when he dies, he just dies. There's no like final cutscene where he says his last words or anything. He just dies, and then the game keeps going. It's like, wait, what? Yeah.
oh dear.
You'd think they ended with his death, with how much of a send off to Kevin Conroy they wanted it to be, or claimed.
I think that's why. I think that's why they had the cutscene for the cutscene with Batman and Harley is because of Kevin Conroy. Like, let's put this last little bit in here, you know, where he's like, you know, has his final words. Whereas Superman is just like, okay, let's keep going, move on.
At the very least, make it the last cutscene of the story.
Yeah.
If you really wanted it to be a send off to Conroy.
Yeah.
At least leave the best for last. Well, metaphorically speaking, because we'll never know.
That boss fight, that Batman boss fight made no sense. They were shooting at a hallucination, but somehow they hit him the whole time. Like, okay. All right, whatever. Anyway.
No.
Okay.
That can be very off-putting to people. Mechanically didn't feel too good, or it doesn't make any sense for certain characters to use guns, like King Shark, who's a big fucking like shark god who could just tear into people. Why would he be using that? Why would Captain Boomerang be using anything but his boomerangs? It makes more sense for someone like Deadshot to be like a weapon specialist, and everyone's to have their own like more physical attributes, right? Because that's what each character represents. Many more criticisms like that are valid. But that's not what we see more often than not, right? What we see is this game is bad because woke. Oh, Suicide Squad Kill Justice League did bad, not because of any of the aforementioned critiques, but because
it can be both.
There was a minor trans flag in Metropolis. It did bad because we don't think Wonder Woman's attractive. It did bad because, hey, they're making all these characters, these male characters, they're emasculating them and letting the female characters look better by comparison.
Yeah, that is a problem because that doesn't sell. That's repulsive.
Yeah, and also all of the male characters of the Justice League are taken over except for Wonder Woman.
What?
Yeah. All of them were taken over. They were corrupted by Brainiac except for Wonder Woman, and they never explained how she didn't get corrupted.
She's like the big
or even
three.
tried.
That'd be like the second or third death I'd want to see is how do they catch Wonder Woman and kill her?
Oh yeah, Superman killed her.
Oh, so she does die. Okay.
Yeah, and the Suicide Squad just stands there and watches the whole time off to the side.
Oh, they don't even do it? That's kind of lame.
No, he kills her with his laser vision.
He vision, yeah.
After she stabs him in the heart with a kryptonite shard.
Oh, okay.
Which still doesn't do anything because Brainiac keeps him alive after that.
Right.
Oh, so it's like the 5 or 6 deaths of the 5 or 6 alternate universe Bionetters in Bayonetta 3 that all die because they stop moving and let the evil thing grab them and then shatter them into crystal stuff or something, which makes no sense. Like, why would you not dodge? This whole character is about dodging things. It's dumb. It's the same kind of writing.
Yeah, that would piss off any fans of DC to just see their heroes die in a very poor way, to put it lightly. It's not something you want to see. You want to see this heroic death that is inevitable. It's like, oh, and maybe even the villains are oh my, we're killing Superman. Oh my, what are we doing? Like, this is crazy. Unless there's some story about him being evil or we got to stop him.
All this shows is that evil is so incompetent it can only win if good goes comatose.
Go to sleep, yeah.
Which kind of fits like real life.
Those aren't critiques. Biases that.
Wait, sir. A bias is just a thought. You have to express that bias and then critique what the expression is. It doesn't matter if it's anti-woke or woke or whatever. Is it valid? Is it accurate? Does it make sense? That's all that matters. All he's saying is he's painting these people with a broad brush, saying they're against the this or that. It's like, in what capacity? Where is the expression? What was the argument? And then we can go.
And even then, that's completely okay if you don't like a certain type of insane politics shoved in your face all the time. That's completely okay and understandable. And if that is a reason for you to not watch a thing or play a thing, completely fine. Since that seems to be the majority of people, I guess your ideology is shit.
I'm just like, a bias by itself is not, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having a preference, a standard, an expectation. That's fine. I expect stories with Batman to be in Gotham. That's kind of a given. I wouldn't want to see him traveling the world unless it's like this weird subplot to being in Gotham. He has to go somewhere to get something and come back. So no, I'd want things to be what they're supposed to be. It's a pretty common bias to have. So maybe
but there's the difference here. Normal people define things by their substance. These people, so we would define Batman by his virtues, by his code, by his abilities. These people, they define Batman not by his substance, but by his costume.
Really.
And that's the same with everything else. They don't define things by their substance, only by their superficial looks and their accidental features.
Oh, okay. Well,
and that's how they have no trouble replacing the substance, because they don't see any, with their ideology. That's how they turn everything woke. It's all about that.
It was a weird experience. I played a few months back. It was the Marvel Midnight Suns games. It was free for, I don't know, a week or two on Epic Games. And everything's great. The game is I don't like the game as a game because it's random, the cards, and it's how you fight. It's kind of silly. But it was a very well put together product, the sound, the music, the voice acting, etc. But there were one or two scenes where I was like, okay, did Captain America really say if he wasn't a soldier, he would be fighting for climate change? And I was like, that's a weird thing to say. And it takes you out for about 2 seconds, but it's so small it doesn't really bother me. So I was like, yeah, that's a silly thing. Whereas the rest of the game is pretty solid and the characters are all quirky and weird, and what you expect from a Marvel experience. So it had those elements, but it was like, not even 1% of the experience. So you can just go, yeah, whatever. Captain America, he's in a magical monastery anyway. He's everyone's kind of weird. It's like, that's fine. I don't care. But if it was any bigger, if it was part of the main story, I'd be like, whoa, this is not the way these people would behave when trying to save the world.
If he brought it up more than once, exactly. I think it would be like a problem,
Yeah, if you want to give him some political leaning about liberal arts or whatever, it's like, I don't care. Let him say that. But if he starts, like, the funniest part of that whole game was the book club. It was just ridiculous and awesome because the whole premise was Blade wanted to hit on Captain Marvel. Like that was the whole premise of why he was doing. But it was really cool because they did like the Book of Five Rings. They did all these other books and stories I never heard about. So it's all these superheroes talking about books. And I was like, this is hilarious, with the pretext of he wants to get to know Carol more, which is kind of cute. So yeah, that game was fun. I didn't like it because the random. I don't like card games personally. And it's kind of like, was it Metal Gear Acid? Like everything you want to do is like a card. You're like, what the hell? So, but very good production value. So you'll still have a good time. And nothing big happens, unfortunately, in the world of Marvel, as you expect. A lot of talking, a lot of relationship points, no romance. So people want to, like, you know, people to hook up. Oh, it's just Blade and Carol. That's it. All right.
And they have been misconstrued into that is one of the biggest things these grifters will do. There's a reason.
Grifters? Sir, where did you learn that word? It's as if that came out of nowhere and you were like having talking points and you have like these words that you learn from someone.
Well, smart. Woke is the ultimate truth. So you have to, you do like it. So you critiquing something because it's woke, you're saying it's bad because it's woke. You must be lying because deep down you know it's the truth.
Oh God!
It is God.
Yeah,
it is the divine.
Every day it feels
so you
like
must be a grifter when you say that you don't like it, which somehow also makes other people believe that it's a bad thing, although they deep down know that it's the ultimate truth and the ultimate good. So everybody who doesn't like the woke is a grifter, is a liar. Even the people who don't buy the things because they don't like it, they too are grifters because they make money by not buying the crap.
You know, if these people were as humble as the Christians and the Christians were just talking about violence in video games, we would get along so much better. We would just be like... You know, I disagree, but we can at least talk about it. That'd be great. With these people, it's impossible.
These are not the people of humility. These are the people of pride.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's the opposite.
Yeah, the Catholic 7 deadly sins. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the Catholic is the young. These are the people of yin.
All right. Well, he's not going very far, is he? With us.
Nope.
3 minutes in. All right.
Able to pump out video after video after video.
All right, what do we got here? We got Hypercritic. What is it? Hypnotic. Game Rank. So that's a whole studio.
10
Yellow Flash. All right.
30 fucking videos a week, 5 videos a...
Dude, you're complaining about the volume. Don't watch them. What is your problem? You think I watch all of Anthony Gramulia's videos? No. Who would?
Somebody is saying that the stuff I like is bad. That's bad. Make them stop saying the stuff I like is bad.
Why would I follow critics I don't like? Like this is dumb. This has nothing to do with like political ideology. This is like, don't watch the thing you don't like, sir. It's not hard.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Sayel. He's great.
Oh, cool.
It's because they have a check. Whenever it hits that checklist, that's why the game's bad.
How is that? Sir, do you know what quality is? You need to have a criteria. You need to have standards to know, to have an opinion. You can't just go in something blind and say, I like a thing. But as soon as you say that, you explain why, and then you suddenly have this concept of likeness or enjoyment or pleasure or bright lights are good. And then you write that down, either mentally or physically, and then you all of a sudden have a checklist, whether you like it or not. That's fine. That's like walking into a burger joint and going, why is there salad? Why are there why is there seafood on this burger? That's not right.
I mean, it gives it, if you have a checklist that you hold against everything, you have a level of objectivity there.
It doesn't even have to be objective checklist. It could
No.
be...
I'm not saying an objective checklist, but that you have a checklist and it does check things on whether they're there or not.
Yeah,
is in itself an objective process.
A logical one at the very least. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So this is natural. We do this or subconsciously whenever we buy something or we are about to buy something like a pair of shoes, fresh fruit, whatever. We go, wait a second, is this copacetic? Is this okay? Let's try it out. And ultimately, we just put it down just because we wanted to make sure. We just wanted to test. We wanted to test our tastes. Or not our. We don't have to eat the thing. We have to just use our skills and evaluation and go. Am I still? Is this a good cantaloupe? You just pick it up and you go, okay, good cantaloupe. If I wanted it, it's there. If not, no big deal.
Now I'm hungry.
For cantaloupe? Oh yeah, it's summertime. You gotta have fresh fruit for sure.
What's happening right now with Destiny 2? A lot of these chuds are talking about how
the chuds, sir, you've already lost us with this language. Speak plainly. A lot of these critics I disagree with. A lot of these people, etc. Be very neutral in your response. Already you've poisoned the well for us to even get into your realm of thinking because there's no point.
Give him 5 minutes and he'll say skibbity riz or something.
Yeah. Whatever new buzzword they've got for us. What is it? Not rebels. I always forget the one. This is the actual one from socialism. Not the revolutionary.
Reactionary.
The reactionary. There we go. Thank you. We're all reactionaries because we're reacting. No, we're not reacting to videos. We're reacting to the ideology. That's what it is.
How dare we not help
gone
progress
bad because
it?
it's woke. Not because, and by going bad, it means the player numbers aren't where it was before. Not because...
Yeah, but there's lots of reasons for that, as he's posting. And one of them is competition. There's a bunch of looter shooters came out. The First Descendant came out, I think, last month. That's pretty hot. And that's got attractive women and attractive men. And the looting is actually pretty fun. And the missions are actually pretty easy. And it's good. So leave it to South Korea to make attractive-looking games for gamers. Amazing. Wow. And yeah, there's all that crap with the layoffs, with the game industry. And I don't even know what Bungie's up to these days. I didn't even know First Descendant. I didn't even read the freaking tweet. Yeah, if you guys have not played First Descendant, it's really fun. So,
from Bungie or about Sony acquiring them and overstating their value, not because of the fact that the story for Destiny is pretty much wrapped and done. So there would have less players playing it. Nope, nothing could do with that. Because it's woke and gay, and that's why it's doing bad. That's their excuse for everything.
It's a huge factor.
If there is an element they do not like, then that element is the reason why.
I'm sure if we watch these videos that go on for 20 minutes, they will mention those elements as well. I'm quite sure.
Look, it's a major element that people notice because they don't like it. Things we do like, we don't notice as much because that means everything is in order. We are wired to notice things that are out of order because things that are out of order imply danger. That's how our caveman brains work. That's why we tend to be negativistic. That's why we focus on the mistakes and the errors and the things that go wrong and not on the nice weather today where we have a wonderful blue sky. It's not too humid and it has a light breeze. It's a wonderful day. But we don't really take notice of that.
Yeah.
What we do take notice of is the rain.
Yeah, and with Destiny 2, it went through a lot of iterations to get the formula that it is to be a certain way, and not everyone liked the changes. Not everyone liked all the seasons and all the quests and all the other crap that came with it. With the new ones, like the First Descendant, it just came out. It's got a lot of fun characters you could unlock, a lot of missions. The progression tree is slow, as you expect from a looter shooter. There's lots of not paywalls, but it'd be faster to spend money. But you can unlock anything as you go. And the gunplay is great. So it's a fun, simple... I would get lost in Destiny 2 where to go. Same with Warframe. And it sort of takes the elements... It's mostly Warframe inspired. And it takes elements of Destiny 2 that people liked. And that they put it into this awesome South Korean game. So give it a shot. I don't know.
Yeah, and the problem with the woke stuff is that it's not just weather. It's not just bad weather. It's not just rain. Woke is a septic flood. When we encounter that, we feel icky because this is wrong. It's wrong. Everything is twisted, wrong, and doesn't make sense.
Oh.
Things have to make sense. And this ideology, nothing about it makes sense. The people who conceived it didn't make any sense conceiving it.
That's like,
and that's why people with more than 2 brain cells to rub together don't like it, because they notice that it's out of order.
This is a great example of if you ever watched at the Olympics. The Olympics is done, but it was a few days ago. It was the breakdancing event, and the Australian breakdancer who got 0 score for her presentation.
Wait. Breakdancing is an Olympic sport now?
In Summer Olympics, I had no idea it was, but it is. And Australia submitted a twerk dancer. I can't remember what the hell she did.
A what?
My lord!
I don't know what she is.
She did the red. She did the red panda.
I don't know what. Guys, honestly, Google search Australian Olympics breakdancing and tell me what that is, because I don't know if I know it's not breakdancing.
It's turning red. Everything's turning red.
When you watch it,
everything's socialist degeneracy.
You're going to be so confused as to what exactly she's doing, and I think it's called the kangaroo, but I have no idea. Anyway, it doesn't fit.
I don't think the kangaroos twerk.
It was amazing. It was. She was so proud of it, and she was even online. She's like, "Oh, this is exactly what I wanted to do." I was like, "Really? Okay."
And she got a 0.
She got a 0.
You saw that. I don't remember which country. A poor black girl who was doing the dash, and she had absolutely no training. But her father was a bigwig in his country, so they sent her because it's the daughter.
Really?
And she just kind of ran to the finish line, because she has absolutely no condition.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's kind of sad. Why would you do that to your daughter?
All right, we're not even 5 minutes done. Man, this guy is. Oh.
There are people doing games using that same sort of rubric. There's a person by the name of I used him before. I forgot his name, Indymon or whatever. He did a review of Spider-Man 2 and was talking about how terrible the game is because you have to play as a deaf woman and how they're trying to push Miles Morales and yada, yada, yada. Nothing about the actual game itself. Nothing about the game on its own merits. Only in relation to their own established biases. Hence, the culture.
It's strange that they now talk about all these. Oh, why don't you think about the gameplay? When for years, when they tried to push all the story in, they never cared about the gameplay. They only care about the woke stuff they put in. That's how they advertise.
Oh yeah,
that's the only thing they cheer. And now he's doing the other thing of, oh, how dare you complain about the wokes? Why don't you focus on the gameplay and other things, and ignore the propaganda we shove in your face, so that you will consume the propaganda
because the content is there. Why would you criticize that, sir? It's exactly the way it should be. It's like, yeah, that's why we don't like it. It should not be there. Yeah. Yes, the gameplay is a secondary because this giant elephant is just consuming all my attention.
Yeah, and the problem that comes with that is that usually there's a very, 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 very almost circle-shaped Venn diagram between woke story, woke writing, and bad gameplay, bad graphics, lots of bugs. So when we see woke stuff, we can assume the rest of the game is gonna be ass.
You could talk about how maybe, the sections where Venom didn't last too long, or maybe didn't like the twist that Venom was. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but you see what I mean. There's ways you do things, but they will never do that.
Yes, they do. They talk about as much as they can after they've exhausted the problem of the elephant in the room, and then they go into the gameplay of playing as a deaf woman who can draw amazing graffiti, like she's the next coming up Picasso or something. You're like, what the hell?
Does anyone in the chat remember how long our Bayonetta 3 critique stream was?
Yeah,
I think it was somewhere between 3 and 5 hours. We went over everything.
Man, Whisp, Bayonetta 3 really hurt you, didn't it?
It's betrayal. that game betrayed me.
I'm not arguing for it. I'm just saying, man, it really hurt you, didn't it?
Yeah, because I love Bayonetta. It's one of the best games I've ever played. Also brought me through very hard times because it kept me sane. And then they announced number 3, and it's 5 years, and then nothing happens. And then they just churn out something they put together with sticky tape and I don't know what you call the office clamp things, the squiggly things. They basically MacGyvered it together out of crap, but they didn't make a MacGyver result. And there's a lot of the woke games that feel like it's just crap that was glued together within a month. That they had 5-6 years in the making, and what comes out is just crap. But you don't see the 5 years on it.
Tired of this just being flooded on YouTube from a bunch of people who either do not enjoy games or simply don't understand how the criticism works.
Okay, he must know exactly how criticism works because he hasn't explained it to us, but he seems to think that everything is about gameplay now. If you're going to criticize a game, it has to be gameplay. It's like, I'm with you because that's what a game is, but there's more to games than just gameplay. And the reason,
and I don't want to play a game where my protagonist looks like a hobgoblin.
Or the motivation for them is to kill good guys. And they're doing
unless it's an actual hobgoblin.
Like, if I wanted to write a story about killing Batman, there's many ways to kill Batman. That's not the problem. The problem is you have to do it the right way. And there's only a certain few ways to do it the right way to make it believable that Batman would get killed in that way. Whereas with Superman, there's like maybe also only a few ways to kill Superman, but you have to use certain methods. So you have to get it right. And if you don't get it right in a certain way, by telling a story properly, you're going to piss off everyone who cares about these characters. And everyone should care about these characters. If you don't, maybe there's some reviews of people who don't like the DC world. They just wanted to play a random game that came out from, I don't know, the Arkham guys, or not the Arkham guys, rather. Then they'd be like, yeah, this is fun. And that's it. They don't think about it. But people who actually pay attention go, this is bad. Batman would not die like this. Superman would not die like this, etc., etc. So it's how you do it. And he's not giving us that understanding of the story of these critics and what they're saying, why it's bad. It's ideology. They have a bias. Explain the bias. Give me an example of what these people are saying and tell me why that, or show me why that's bad. Because it shouldn't be that hard.
Comes from the fact that their world viewpoints are terrible.
Why? Because they're not yours?
Because they're not pro-woke.
Yeah, apparently.
The only good woke viewpoints are the ones that are pro-woke.
Good Lord, this guy would never survive in Canada. We have so many centrists on every side of the aisle.
Where are they in the election?
Well, apparently the conservatives are now the centrists because they're so far away from the liberals that they're adopting people like unions and all these other people that don't like the liberals anymore. And the NDP are crazy. So,
do you have public election voting, counting, overseeing?
We're good. We have good paper ballots and systems in place. Yeah, it's been pretty good.
I mean, can the people just go to the counting and just look over the shoulders of the people counting?
No, we got booths for that. So.
Oh, so you count in secret?
As far as I know, I mean, it's all community driven. So.
So you're not a democracy.
Well, everything gets scanned into the machine, and then it's all just digital.
Oh, so you do it electronically, so it's even more. You're not okay. You don't have elections.
Okay, I mean, if you say so. Anyway, Canada's screwed. We know. Let's keep going.
They're based in this weird binary where things are either woke or not. If the game has a male lead that isn't white, it's automatically
No, who's saying this, dude?
No, that's not the point. That's not the problem. It can be beautiful brown, black girl, Asian, whatever. Doesn't matter. The problem is that the woke games make any character unbearable and horrible and stupid.
not straight. It's automatically woke in there for bad. But they can't apply the same.
It's because you shove it into the faces of the audience that I'm gay. Like, does it have anything to do with the story? No, but you should know that I'm gay. Like, why? What for? If you shove it into the faces of people and there's absolutely no reason to do so, it's woke. It's bullshit. It's propaganda. It's attention seeking, and it's rubbing your fetish in your privacy, your private matters of what you do in your bedroom, which is anal sex, into the into everyone's faces. Nobody wants to know that you do anal sex.
To games that do critically well. They talk about go woke or go broke. You bring up a game that was successful, God of War 2, or sorry, Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2.
It was successful because people thought it might actually be a good game, and it wasn't. It was woke crap with mediocre gameplay. And it was an insult to everything of Norse culture and mythology, which the Greek games weren't. They took liberties, but they were largely in the spirit. The Norse weren't, not even remotely. They were name-dropping things. That's all. It's a skin job. As I said before, the substance is removed because the woke don't even see substance. In its place, they put their ideology. And all that's left is the surface things. Names, maybe looks, although they changed those too. So it's really, it's a skin job.
Well, I didn't like the fact they got a New Yorker to play Odin. That was kind of weird. So.
A New Yorker. You know what I find weird? That this whole game is about Odin is a filthy imperialist capitalist who exploits the dwarves and other races through his financial imperialism. And look, it is a scheming, manipulative psychopath who walks over corpses and only uses people. And he is made to look and is played by a Jew. What are the authors trying to tell us? Is that the woke messaging here? Jews bad?
When I first saw that cutscene, I didn't know anything about the game or Odin. I was like, did someone just say lines over the normal lines and just for the fun of it? Does that didn't sound like that? Like, hey, that's Toby from the West Wing. Like, what the hell is he doing?
Oh, we like the actor. That's why we put him in there.
Yeah,
you made the Jew the evil, tyrannical, despotic, manipulative capitalist who's rubbing his hands.
And they designed the dialogue around him in mind, and I was like, why would you do that? That's the silliest thing to do.
If anything, this game is anti-Semitic propaganda.
Oh God, it was just so weird. And
which kind of is what socialism is. So
okay,
it all fits again in the end. They accidentally the truth.
All right.
Wake, Baldur's Gate 3. They have nothing for you. They try to go by sales, right? Since when sales were the only indicator of a game being good or not. Like, we don't have cult classics or anything like that, but whatever. They'll go by sales. But if you use that same metric as they do,
what are you? Who is this person that uses sales for quality? Who? Tell me. What is this argument? I've heard this from everyone. What does it mean? People find something popular. That because it's good? No, they found it popular because the marketing worked, and they bought it, and they decided not to return it, or they didn't know about a return policy.
Yeah, I keep saying, and I even said it back then in the forums. World of Warcraft wasn't good. It was a big brand, and its release version was decent. And compared to all the other MMORPGs, it was very fluent and had very easy controls. Great. Wonderful. And that's how you get big. But they didn't improve on the quality.
I'm a bit confused.
Their care for the game was absolutely atrocious and is to this day.
He brought up Baldur's Gate 3. I'm quite sure that sold pretty well. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he's getting at.
And I'm trying to think why he brought up Alan Wake, because I think the only thing regarding Alan Wake 2 is like you do play as a woman. I mean, for like half the game, you can switch back and forth, but I don't know. There's really no. I don't think there's anything woke about that game, as far as I can tell.
Oh, it is.
anyway.
It is.
Oh, it is.
It's not that it's a woman. It's that they changed the character Saga, which is a Norse name, from
Right, I know that.
to a black woman, which makes absolutely no sense because she was already established, and it makes no sense that she's black.
Yeah, it was like that for the trailer they released, it was like an Easter egg, I think, from that other game they made. I can't remember the name of that. And they hired a white actress to play Saga. And that was like 7 years before. So for 7 years, or at least 5 or 6 before the game was cast and whatever, we were all under the assumption that you're going to play as these two characters, the two investigators from the FBI. And somewhere along the lines, SBI got in there and changed it.
I didn't know about that part. About the they already cast somebody to play the character. I didn't know about that.
At least in the trailer for the Easter egg from Returnal. What the hell was the name? Not Returnal. What the hell is the name of that game? That third person time controlling.
Oh, Quantum Break.
Is it Quantum Break? No. It can't be that one. I don't think that's the one. Was it Quantum Break? No.
Well, Remedy doesn't own. Remedy's the game that the company that makes Alan Wake. They don't own the rights to Quantum Break.
Oh,
Microsoft does.
Okay, maybe it is. I don't remember.
But yeah, that came out like longer than 7 years ago. Quantum Break.
Yeah. So that's when the maybe it would have been DLC with it. I don't recall exactly when we got that trailer, but yeah, it was definitely a Mulder and Scully type sort of scenario of these two people interviewing people
with not Max Payne.
Yeah.
Again, if we say like Baldur's Gate 3, which won like a bajillion awards and sold all of the games all the time, they have nothing to say. A game is.
What do you mean they have nothing to say? There's all kind of critiques about Baldur's Gate 3. They still liked it. People who like RPGs liked it, at least. I haven't tried it, but
yeah, I haven't played it either. I don't know anything about critiques.
Yeah, that was the whole thing about the was the bear transmorph sex or whatever. It's like
the what now?
Yeah, that's the big thing. You could have a relationship with a druid, and you can have the druid transform into a bear. It's this whole romantic sex thing. You're like, all right, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but understandably, that entire game, was it Larian Studios? I think it made it. Every part of that game is handcrafted, and I always critiqued it because it was in beta for 2 years, 3 years. So people have already played the whole damn thing, and it was the third act that they just sort of rushed, and you could tell that from reviews. People are always arguing about how bad the third act is, and that's not how you develop. You should never have to be in a beta stage that long. Beta is well after alpha. Beta is just cleaning the kinks, and they have so many design problems with that game. There's a video I think by IGN or Game Informer, I can't remember who did it, called "What's in the Box." I think that's what it was called, and the producer of the game, or the I can't remember his name, the guy from Larian Studios with the armor and whatever. He talked about this box because it was a MacGuffin that was central to the plot, and because he wanted so much freedom to not find the box, not find the person who found the box, hide the box, throw the box. There's all these things you can do with the box, but it is necessary to keep the story going. because he didn't want to change his philosophy on that story element, he had to allow all these permutations of what the player might do with this stupid thing. So the game was pushed back a year at least just on those permutations. Anyway, let's keep going.
Has LGBTQ elements in it, white main characters, because you have women who aren't jerk off material. But if that's present in a game that's objectively good, they can't critique it. Those elements are no longer the bad part, even though that's what they look for.
I don't understand that. I'm quite sure if I played a game that was objectively good, whatever he means by that, in terms of gameplay at least, and there are stupid elements like, gay couples that have no reason to be there or aren't part of the lore or wouldn't exist, you're damn sure we talk about things that should not be there. There's no idea. There's no difference between what the element is. It's this elephant in the room that shouldn't belong. That's all it is. Again, give me an example of what you're talking about, sir. Then we'll be happily mention that, because I'm quite sure people critique Baldur's Gate 3 all the time. It's a huge game. There's lots of things in it. And the bugs were hilarious. That were known for years because of the beta stage was so long. And there's still, not all of them, but they're still there. Like, it was unplayable for at least a year.
I think it's time we stop giving these guys as a community.
Then don't watch them. What is your problem? This is such a weird video. I don't like these guys. We should stop watching them. Stop watching them.
He's trying to bring his audience away, or whoever watches him, away from watching the people who critique his stuff. This is in a very softer version of how brainwashing works, which is to drive a wedge and say, "Oh, don't listen to those people. Only listen to me."
Yeah,
listen to my opinion and how I only get your information from me and how I pre-filter it.
Yeah, this is not like there's two competing burger joints and I have a favorite, and if they're not open, I'll go to the second one. This is like there's two competing burger joints and the other one serves you shit and the other one is whatever, good. It's not that, sir. This is like, what? All he has to do is critique the one guy he doesn't like and say why he doesn't like it. And we'll be like, great, thank you. Now we know exactly what you're talking about. Let's see what the problem is. And we could go into that. But now he's just generically, oh, these guys are bad because they don't like woke stuff. That's bad. You're like, why? Why is that bad? The same with someone saying woke is good. Why is that good? Like, just tell me why. Give me reasoning why it's good or bad, sir.
Laugh at them because they cannot be critical. Critical is the antithesis of their.
Okay, this is dumb. If you think you're critical, you haven't given me any standards to use critique against these people. You have not specified, aside from Endymion, you didn't even know the pronunciation of the guy's name. Yeah, okay, he knows that guy on YouTube. Great. What critically about him are you specific? Like, what's the problem with Endymion? Tell me. And then we'll investigate ourselves, make our own opinion. We can do that. But you haven't done that, sir. We just
have to take his emotional opinion.
This is so stupid. Don't go to McDonald's, guys. It's shit. It's like, why? It's got burgers I don't like. It's like, I like burgers, but theirs are bad. It's like, why? Because the critics don't, blah, blah, blah. Like, what are you talking about? This guy.
Their grift relies on
Their grift, okay.
a complete lack of critical awareness.
Critical awareness, critical thought, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
They do not review games on their own merits. You can watch any of their videos. None of their videos will ever talk.
Guys, is this how you pronounce words when you're angry? Is it a lisp? What's going on here?
No, I think he has a polyp in his nose.
All right, here is Teen Titans Yeast Boy. All right. I can't help but roll my eyes into the back of my head when I hear some sentient soy beard complain that gamers don't like it when the video women aren't sexy. Yeah, I'm paying north of $60. I've got better things to do than look at ugly broads. It's a simple thing. That's why we have actors who are very attractive genetically, if not at the gym, that get the jobs. Because people like attractive people doing anything. Either they play the rags to riches, or just the super awesome dude hero at the movies. Yeah, we like attractive things, yeah.
Things were better when resolutions were just 320 by 240.
When we had very limited pixels to work with, and you had to make attractive sprites, yeah.
Yeah, and you had to use your imagination.
Oh boy.
And nobody can censor your
What they will
imagination.
do is make assumption that a game is woke because X, Y, Z, and it'll assume the reasoning for it. And I think you guys know where I'm going with this.
Nope.
Anytime a game seems to have a black character, a queer character, anything of the sort,
Sweet
No,
Baby
that's
Inc.
not the reason. Oh, you're defending the scam now? The malicious scam that uses extortion methods in order to get itself injected into things?
This guy is defending Sweet Baby Inc. It's fine.
You're defending criminals.
I find this very odd. Why you would do
Malicious,
this?
psychotic criminals.
It's a strange flex, but just because you like the woke doesn't mean you would like Sweet Baby Inc. Sweet Baby Inc. is this extreme version of that. It's not just I like a little bit of bisexuality in my BioWare games. It's we need to put more black gay Eskimos in whatever. And then get rid of all the white guys. And don't hire white guys or white women. Just black women or whatever the nonsense is. There's nothing wrong with critiquing. There's nothing wrong with critiquing these people. What is the problem, sir? Are they not critiquing them the right way, whatever your way is, which we don't know?
He just wants to not play video games in the future after the woke has destroyed everything. There'll be no video games because all studios will have gone defunct. The only ones making video games then will be a few indie devs, and they won't make woke shit. And the cycle starts over.
they blame concentration groups in general, but they blame
what?
Yeah, of course we can blame Sweet Baby Inc. Of course we can blame Sweet Baby Inc. It's their fucking agenda.
They blame Sweet Baby Inc. They blame concentration groups in general.
What did he say?
I couldn't tell what he said.
Consultation groups, maybe? He's speaking like he's reading a script and he doesn't know what to say. Like what?
No, he's speaking like he's doing this all in one take.
Oh, that too.
Which is okay. But
Sweet Baby Inc. almost understand what a consulting...
Okay, you don't need to explain. Dude, this is so stupid.
Dude, we've seen the interview where she admitted that she's extorting people. And the stuff that they push into the games ruins the games. Because it's not just about character changes, which are already stupid. Because they destroy the immersion. That's the problem.
He's not critiquing... It doesn't make
sense.
He's not critiquing
but also
critics.
the gameplay goes to shit.
He's critiquing the generalized idea of the topics the critics are talking about. This is dumb. This is silly. They're not fundamentally flawed. You just don't like them. It's like me talking about the Liberals in Canada and not bringing up all the scandals, not bringing up specifically what one person did or voted on or wasted money on, just saying, oh, they're different and they don't think the way I think. And like, specifically in what way? Oh, they don't like what?
Honestly, this is like making excuses for Sweet Baby Inc. is like making excuses for the Stasi.
This is so silly. Like, be specific. What about Sweet Baby Inc. is good? Tell me.
But they don't have to understand it. They just have to use the scary buzzwords. It's DEI. It's BlackRock. It's ESG. But it's woke. But if you ask them to actually sit down and explain it, they can't.
Yes,
they do. They do constantly. They constantly explain it. These are the companies pushing this ideology on purpose, and those companies admit that it's on purpose and that it is malicious.
Like, does he
because they want to change culture. They believe that through doing this, they are changing the behaviors of people. That's why they do it. It's a weird belief, mad belief that they can engineer humanity by pushing all this crap into our media.
Like, I'm wondering if he wants like a undercover journalist work of like working at these companies and getting emails and recording video conversation. Like, what does he want exactly?
You know what I believe? He hopes to be getting paid by the DEI companies as an agitator and propagandist.
Oh God!
Like so many of these bread tubers are.
It's hilarious. I've learned recently that at least in Canadian federal politics, we have a bunch of liberal paid social media. I don't know what you call them. They're not
pundits.
Technically, they would be, but they're paid to do whatever. So make content about how good the Liberal Party is every day or whatever it is, as opposed to the other parties that don't do any of that crap. They just have people who just naturally like the parties and just talk about them. It's a weird thing in Canada. We got all this weird, and plus we have all these legal things against Facebook and Instagram. You can't do certain things, and you're like, okay, so you're paying people to use these platforms, but you're banning other people using the platforms you don't like in the way you don't like them. Very strange rules we have in Canada. Anyway, here's a donation from Teen Titans Throbbin. Thank you, Throbbin. These horrible chuddies are blaming the extortionist consultancy groups who have openly bragged about blackmailing devs into inserting over-communist propaganda into games or putting propaganda into games. Does this N-word hear himself right now? He's defending Sweet Baby Inc. I don't think hearing himself is part of the conversation. I think he's already gone. He is against the people who are against his opinions, so therefore they must be wrong. It's a bit sad. We're going to go for another minute or two, but I don't think we're going to get anything more out of this guy that we weren't expecting.
That's how when I do those videos about like I found, which I will continue to do because they're fun and also hilarious and a little bit sad. But when I do those kinds of videos, you'll see how their criteria change from group to group because there's no consensus. And some of them, for example,
why would there be a consensus between groups? That's like saying the standard I have for this group should be the same as the standard I have for that group, and we're talking about different things. That's why would you have like an apples to oranges criteria? That would be silly. You don't apply your tastes for apple pie to chocolate ice cream. They wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't even work. I'm sure there's many permutations of what sucks in one video game. It's not always going to be the same. So, weird.
What the woke games detected our reasoning was just pro DEI, and they don't tell you. They'll say a black person is using a big crossbow, and that's somehow bad. They don't explain to you why that.
What are you talking about? Where is this? Is that Assassin's Creed? Like, what is he talking about?
I'm surprised he hasn't brought up Assassin's Creed.
Makes the game bad. They're just telling you there's women in it. There's actually one game I believe called Paper Trail that's getting review bombed because the main character in a puzzle game is a woman who went to university, and that was one of the reasons why they put him on their list to begin with. Okay,
so this is referring to the woke list on Steam, and I think it's a public thing you could check out. That's just an excerpt. There's more into it in that review, as they all have different elements. So, did he actually go into the review and read it? You can do it right now. Anyway. This guy is like so surface level, dude. Give me reasons. What's happening? Anyway, another donation from Teen Titans Psy Horror. Okay, that's not on the nose, but I guess it's good enough.
It's
Speaking of
pretty close.
yeah, it's I don't know. Borg whore. Okay. Speaking of bread tubers getting paid off, remember that lispy little queer Xander? Oh, do we have to? He apparently was revealed to have been an employee of a consultancy group made by Zoe Quinn. Really? Also, his GF stole his rent money to buy crack and cucked him several times. Okay, we don't need to get into that. That's very off topic. So, the less I hear about Xander Hall, I think the happier we will all be. So,
Upset that the woman, you're just mad at a woman. You're just mad at a woman. It's a fucking puzzle game. You're mad that the woman's an astrophysicist? Why? There's nothing critical going on there or up there for them. It's all hate. It's all just for grifting money. That is it. It is one of the most lowest common denominator video you could possibly put out. Because you can do it with literally anything at all that you can imagine. It can be woke, no matter what. Any game, any game, and by that extension, any game can also be not woke, even though it would fulfill the wokeness quota, right? Like, you have a game like a Call of Duty, right? Let's take Modern Warfare, like whatever, and you're killing, I don't know, Russians. They would tell you there's no politics in that game. There's no agenda. There's nothing of the sort. Nothing going on there. Totally not woke. Oh, but there's a LGBT flag. Okay, now it's woke because now they're pushing an agenda. And it's like, no. If you're going to keep that as their metric, the agenda is already being there by putting the Russians as the enemy, by having you play as the United States, who are these white guys in the military. There's already an agenda there. It's present within the game's framework. But because it's an agenda they agree with, they are not critical of it.
What game are we talking about? Is this Call of Duty? The no Russian level? Like, what is he talking about? This is something very specific. I seem to have missed what he's talking about here. Was there a particular Call of Duty Russian thing came out the past few years that I'm unaware of? Or is he inventing a hypothetical? Like, what's going on?
Exist. You could have a game out murdering as many people as possible in a small amount of time. You can make Hatred 2.0, but if you made the main character a non-white person, they would call it woke, and suddenly it would be
Who is they and what are you talking about? No one's doing this. If it's a game about whatever, like I think Hatred was some edgy hero character from high school, and he was just blowing away people. That was the whole story. The game sucked because there was no build up, there was no setup, there was no storytelling to constitute the kind of game. As far as
it was a story about a guy who just suddenly just went, you know what, I'm just gonna start killing people.
Yeah, he just went postal and just,
for no reason.
Yeah, there was no background, and so it was like, this is weird. Whereas I think
and it gets to like a ridiculous level, like the final levels, like he gets to a nuclear power plant and he blows it up.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Whereas Soldier of Fortune, as brutally violent and visceral as the game was designed to be, it's expected you're a mercenary. It's okay, you got enough to go with. But yeah, the setup is kind of important. So I think he understands that, but he's making a hypothetical.
I was just gonna say that he's making hypotheticals now.
Yeah, it's as if we're using the Quake design mentality. It's like everything's bare bones. It's purely a shooter, and then the character's a female. It's like we don't care in Quake what your avatar is, as long as the hitboxes are all the same. We don't really care. And these supposed people will hate it because female bad. I don't get that. No, I've never seen that on YouTube.
Murdering native citizens and the great.
Oh, you brought it up. How about the sudden framing of black guy wanting to kill Japanese people in the upcoming AC game? The issue is not that there's a giant black samurai killing people. It's that it's not authentic to Japanese history and culture, which it's supposed to be. And the argument is, well, they can do whatever they want in their stories. It's like, yeah, but the Japanese don't like that. It's not because it's woke or it's this or that. It's because it's offensive to them. And there's like 100,000 signatures on that petition, including a senator and some experts in Japanese heritage. So it's more than, it's not just politics, it's more than that. And you should not piss off an entire country when you're trying to be creative selling an entertainment product to them on their culture. It's not a good look.
That stuff. But whenever it's a white person doing something, that context is completely ignored.
Is there a story of gaijins going to Japan during the Shogun era and being a retainer? I mean, we have the Last Samurai movie. I don't know if that's based off live events, but if there is something to work with, then great. And if you're not offending anyone, then great. Ubisoft screwed up. They offended the Japanese big time. And it wasn't just because it was a Black Samurai. There are other elements in that trailer, like using, I can't remember the name of those arches, those Japanese arches. Those are used for holy shrines or holy land, not the entrance to a village. And the characters on those, whatever they're called, weren't Japanese characters. They were, I think, Mandarin or something. And they used a flag from this group that is not authentic to that era. And like, all these stupid things they did in that trailer. So it wasn't just the big Black Samurai dude, which was not historically accurate. It was almost every element of the trailer itself. Like a woman carrying a giant sword on her back. That's kind of weird.
Of just saying, it's just a good non-woke game. Again, I'm telling you guys, they do not critique anything.
Who?
A critique is an analysis of a particular piece of media with the intention of, at the very least, showcasing what went wrong so they can do it better. That's what criticism.
No. It's not about doing something better. Critique is to derive meaning from whatever you're observing, because either it's hard to find or there's a certain perspective you're not using. We critique anything to discover meaning, and that meaning could be this thing sucks, this thing's great, you just don't know it, or you can't see it. That's it. It's to find meaning. It's not to say this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. It's this sucks because, or this is good because. If we just said this color red is really good in Assassin's Creed and it represents this, I mean, that's symbolic. Or it could just be the blood splatter from the effect, or particle physics, or whatever they're doing. And we could say that looks good or looks fake, or sign of the times of the technology we were using. So no, it's not whatever he was trying to say. It's to find meaning in whatever you're looking at. And sadly, a lot of these games don't have that meaning. So we have to delve deeper or come to the conclusion there is no meaning. It's crap.
You guys can critique my videos. You can say you don't like, how I use filler words a lot. Or maybe you don't like the fact that I seem to choose random topics or have a bad upload schedule or whatever. Those are actual criticisms, because you can help me improve. You can say, hey.
No, we would just critique the content of your message. That's all we would do. We wouldn't care when you uploaded stuff. That's weird.
Different days we upload X amount of videos, or X, but you should script more, or maybe you should this and that. That's valid criticism. But just saying, I don't like your background, I don't like the way that you sound, I don't like your haircut, I don't like this, those aren't critiques. Those are complaints.
You can critique your hair. You can critique your use of the language and the way you slur your words and your green screen. We can critique that thing. Why not? I kind of like your background, but it's kind of out of place. I can critique the music you have or whatever that background noise is. I could do all of that. Why not? I'm not complaining about that. I'm critiquing it. I could be objective. There's plenty of green screen YouTubers out there. Why not? What is your problem? So if I critique your haircut, I'm actually complaining about it? Is that what you think? Okay. Maybe I'm a hairdresser. Maybe I know some hairstylists that know better than I do. And I just hang out with them. And they would have some pointers for you. Would that be helpful hatred? Or would you call that helpful? Like, what are you talking about, dude? What a weird thing to say. They're just complaints, guys.
If you're playing a video game, let's say I'm reviewing Elden Ring.
I'm something Elden Ring.
Reviewing Elden Ring. And if I'm doing a real review of like Shadow of the Erdtree, I could talk about how the game has somehow seems to expand on its lore while also not giving us much in terms of maybe what we have expected. I could talk about how they used the jars from like Jarbird, those little cute things, and made it like a real like Cronenbergian thing that adds to
I have no idea what he just said.
the lore of the overall story. That gives you more insight of America and potentially why she shattered the Elden Ring. Right? I could talk about things some mechanical level, how they use the not pronounced skidoo, but the shadow fragments to kind of level out the end game so that like even if you're super powerful in a regular game, that you come in a little bit weaker, you level up, so you still have that kind of grindy experience. We can talk about the new weapon set. I could talk about the hand-to-hand combat that I think a little lackluster compared to the mods that I think clearly inspired it, but still a much improved over the original fist weapons and a nice change of pace. And I talk about all those things. But if I was saying Elden Ring is bad because the most powerful person is a woman and the hardest boss in the base game is a woman and they feminized Mikola and made him take over the masculine body of Radon.
Who is saying this, sir? Who is saying this? Again, another hypothetical. Most people see Elden Ring for the quality game it is. Are there woke elements in Elden Ring? I really don't think so. So why are you making a criticism of a hypothetical of a game that has no politics to speak of that you're against or for, apparently? What are you on about now? That's a weird take, sir.
Like, do you see how that's not a critique of the actual game? It's just me complaining but doesn't fit to my narrow worldview. That's what I'm talking about. And after watching this video, which I've been yapping for like fucking 90 minutes now, I think you'll start to understand now when you see those videos, don't watch them, but if you have to watch them, listen to what they're actually saying. And at any point, are they actually critiquing the game on its own merits, or are they critiquing, which we know is complaining, because it doesn't.
No, you are free to critique any element of any media using whatever standards you like. If it's just, I don't like it, that's fine. You can say that. It might not have much reasoning behind it or criteria behind it, but that's fine. Some people don't know why they don't like something. They're like, it doesn't feel right, doesn't look right, something feels off. Great, good for them. And apparently a lot of people agree with that because they're popular for some reason. Good for them as well. What is your problem? Don't watch them, as you say. The people who like you, you're telling them not to watch. Good enough. So what is this point of this video? You don't like people who have different ideologies than you? That's it? Is that all this is? And instead of having a middle ground that you could share in the world of gaming, of either critiquing games or playing games or whatever, you're just like, yeah, just ignore them. Forget these people exist. Why? Are they that annoying? I mean, you're not that bright, no offense, of course, but you're very biased as well. I'm watching you. I could tolerate your bad opinions. I'm not losing sleep over it. It's not a big deal. I'd be happy to talk with you. At least you're reasonable. So what's the big deal with having an ideology? This doesn't bother me at all.
Are they talking about the game from mechanic level or story level, or are they...
Okay, so a story is a lot to say. The word story means everything regarding the story, the presentation, the dialogue, etc. That would involve elements they don't like. And if they don't like this female character, good for them. They are allowed to not like the female character, like in Bayonetta 3, as Whisp might ramble on for 5 hours about. That's fair. it's why they dislike the female character. Tell us why. That's what matters. Why is the female character bad, presented poorly, etc.? That's it. And he's saying, no, they're complaining. So what? They're emotional about it. Who cares? Is their reasoning accurate? That's what matters. The why.
As to why things are a certain way, if they did it that way. Because again, that is not a critique.
All right, this is like the third time he's saying that. I think we could stop right there. Then I think Whisp is falling asleep and Ginga's gone. Like, this guy's painful.
What?
Yeah, I think we're stopping right there. He's a waste of time.
Hello? I'm here.
We're done. It's okay. We got
Okay, good
we got
night.
some memes somewhere to go here. Let's see what we got here. August 12th. Yes, it's August 12th. Okay. Let's see what we got. Just bring it up. There we go. Okay. Mr. Memes, what do we got from you? My thoughts on this man's video already. Op actually can stop sucking cock but refuses to. Thank you, the Examiner. Batman having to relive his parents' deaths for the 6th time this month because Scarecrow keeps breaking into Arkham.
Kinda, sorta.
You got used to it after a while. Batman's like, yeah, I know. Okay. More fear venom. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League resulted in $200 million revenue loss.
System works.
Interesting, Mr. Person who doesn't like critiquing the DEI of Kill the Justice League game. Daily Arkham memes. That's cool. Arkham Asylum thug, come out, ya chicken. I ain't scared of you. Me behind him knowing damn well I'm about to click triangle. Okay. As opposed to showing Batman literally breathing down his neck, he shows this.
Don't underestimate Shubil.
If Riddler had a YouTube channel, stop disliking my videos. Going into an angry rant. I'll see how long this is. Let me just hit play button.
Now the father's a lunatic. He was in here tonight, raving. Wow, slow down, Maurice.
That was an Austrian doing a parody of something from the animated version of Beauty and the Beast, I think. What? Oh boy. So now we have Twitter in the meme street, in the meme channel. Okay. What people think Florida is like? Florida in reality.
Sounds about right.
It's the beach for sure. That you get that view.
Mm-hmm.
Some streets have palm trees like that. I did go to Disney that time when I was a kid, and the other one oh yeah, it's the same photo. That's great.
That took you a while.
Well, no, because I'm like, okay, I
It's
saw
a
the
good one.
I saw the
I really
beach, and
like
I'm
that one.
like, okay, I remember Florida. Yeah, Florida's awesome. This is the swampland too. That's the fun part. All the crocodiles, or sorry, not crocodiles. What are they? There's the two kinds. The crocodiles and the other thing. Billions must die? What the hell is that?
That's his meme.
Oh.
That's when you see him. That's the message.
Just saw an Imperial girl with an orc. It's over. Tamriel has fallen. Oh. No one. French geese. Honku. Oh, dear. Hey, Ched, have you seen Tyrone anywhere? Oh my God, what the?
Help?
I am not understanding or wanting to understand that. Whew. Now we have a name for you. What now, Chuds? Chuds. We're like, yeah, sure. What? We don't care. Oh my God, Biology Dr. Chud MD. Human sexual dimorphism. I can't read that. I don't know what that is.
I don't think we need to.
All right.
How much did I miss?
He repeated himself. We just got tired, and I can't remember. Construction superintendent arrives on site to point and nod at things. Yeah. Usually that's a good thing. That means things are working. The West has fall. Ack. Sorry, Chud-kun. You weren't cute enough. Gomen ne. If a woman did this to me, I would die. What the hell is this? Oh, God. There is a threat on Earth. Steven Universe, yeah. And there was a hug. All that's about describing how he's hugging someone. Betrayal. The boom. Yes, no more talking about Bayonetta. We know.
It's not the only game that did that. It's just a very obvious one.
Okay, Drake researching lyrics for his new song.
What exactly are you looking up?
How do I get 12-year-old girls excited? No!
Oh dear. Okay. Interesting. Creepy.
Nightmares.
The J Condition 3. Nico's whatever. Welcome to Chud's Delicatessen. You will never be a woman. May I take your order? What? Daka. What I expected from Alan Wake 2 versus what I got. Yeah, kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
What did Sam like mean by this? FBI agent shows up, immediately starts shooting dark people. Okay, I'm not going to read all that. Year is 2010. Game named Alan Wake released. You play as Alan Wake. Stories about Alan Wake. Fast forward 2023. Alan Wake 2 trailer. SJW hijacked Remedy. You play as a female FBI agent. Of course, she's black. What's your name? Title screen Alan Wake 2. His name is Alan Wake 2. Okay.
Right?
I could have saved her. Karlach? Is that her name? Karlach?
Think so.
Did she die? Like, is she supposed to die? I don't know. Don't know the story. LeBron James reportedly defeated Ketherick before lifting the Shadow Curse. What? Okay. Memes I don't know. Shadowheart disapproves. Yes, I'm a gatekeeper and a hater. I'm also God's favorite princess and the most interesting girl in the world.
You need a new haircut. That looks stupid.
I think she has a helmet on.
Yeah. Stupid helmet.
Shadowheart, I only had for a day and a half, but if anything happened to her, I would kill everyone in this room and then myself. Oh, I only had Shadowheart for a day and a half. Sorry. What am I looking at? I guess you really like Shadowheart, dude. I don't know. What is that? Is she throwing dice? What is she doing?
It's like a card or something.
A badge? I don't know.
It says guidance at the bottom in yellow.
I'm squinting my eyes, but I can't quite figure that out. Inside joke. Okay. Paper Mario, here we go. What? What was that?
I am not.
Oh, paper, scissors, rock.
I guess.
That's the joke. Yeah, Edward Scissorhands, The Rock. Yeah, that's the joke.
Oh.
Paper, scissors, rock.
Oh.
You know, rock, paper, scissors?
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's the joke.
All right. More 4chan stuff. Here we go. Be slave. Only job is carrying weapons for other men. Japs dress you as samurai because they think it's funny. End up in a battle. Immediately surrender. get enslaved again. 300 years later, the legendary Black Samurai. I try to remember, was he a retainer or not? Was he just some guy they liked and they brought him to the show?
He was a
I think
retainer,
it
but
seems-
retainer
yeah.
does not automatically mean samurai.
Right.
He was just a dude. And the Lord found it funny.
All right. Well, that was pretty bad. I guess he didn't like the Steam reviews of games that have women in them. I don't know what that list is. I haven't read it. And if you're going to critique someone's review of a one sentence take, I mean, you're not going to get much substance out of that. So whatever you want to take out of it is up to you. But let's not cover that guy again. That was a waste of time. That was pretty bad. So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll get an anime or manga topic for Anime Day. That'd be nice. Would appreciate that, guys. But apparently Giga wanted to cover this video, or he posted it, and we're like, oh, Giga was here for like 5 minutes. And he took off. So
It was
yeah,
a trap.
that was a weird video. I don't know what the point of that was, but I'm sure the comments aren't very nice to him.
He shows us that everything pro-woke is just emotional arguments.
And people who are against that aren't using critical thought or something, apparently.
That's projection.
I don't know. Anyway, let's not cover him ever again because we'd be a happier people in general. We're harsh enough on our games. We don't need this guy to tell us what to do. It doesn't help us at all, fortunately. So, thanks, guys, for the suggestion. Keep the suggestions rolling, and we will see what's up next on the booth in the voting section of the channel. And hopefully we'll get Gingaman to stay a little longer and talk about... I'm sure he would have said lots to say about Suicide Squad because there's so much to say about that game. And it did not do well at all. And definitely not a form of quality, but it's a good sign of why people are buying something if there's a lot of purchases. So anyway, thanks for the suggestion. We'll talk to you soon. Have yourself a great evening. Good night.